Hi everyone, Dr. Emmy from Pain Free and Fit. Today, a great exercise for those of you with shoulder injuries that want to isolate the inner or long head of the triceps with training, but trying to avoid the overhead motions of French curls and tricep extensions and skull crushes when the arm is elevated. We're going to look at a modified version of the tricep press down, push down, and a way to really isolate the inner head of the triceps while sparing the shoulder joint. Hope you enjoy. So one of the inherent problems with shoulder injuries and pain and trying to get into the gym and get a good triceps workout in is that the higher that the elbows go, the further up towards the head and eventually overhead they go, the more stress is placed on the shoulder joint. People with shoulder arthritis, labral tears, tendinitis, impingement syndromes, bursitis are all aggravated as the elbows come up. Even those with acromioclavicular joint problems, especially as the elbows come up and you have a close grip, which is very common in triceps training, as that elbow comes in closer towards the midline of the body, there's an aggravation or a compression on the acromioclavicular joint. So people with separations, people with spurs, people with arthritic changes are aggravated with that. So exercises such as overhead French curls, laying down tricep presses, skull crushes, all have involved with that the elbow coming up higher towards the head, and the shoulder is asked to stabilize that weight and add to that triceps exercise in a way that many times aggravates shoulder pain. So one modification we can use with this is using the classic press down or push down exercise to isolate especially the long head of the triceps, that inner head closest to your armpit. Now the long head is unique in its anatomical attachments in that it's the only part of the triceps, of the three triceps heads, that actually attaches to the shoulder blade. So besides just extending or straightening the elbow, its job is to also adduct or bring the elbows in. So we're going to show you an exercise today, a modification of that press down, push down exercise, where we're going to be taking a wider grip as opposed to a neutral or narrow grip on the triceps bar, because as we take a wider grip and extend the elbows down, there's a tendency to also want to pull the elbow in to stabilize the body. Whenever your hands are wide and away from the body, neurologically the body wants to stabilize, so it wants to pull the hands in. It doesn't want to have the hands out. So we're going to use that in our press down exercise. So as we're extending down, we're not only extending the elbow joint, but we're slightly adducting it, and you're going to feel how that targets the inner head of the triceps. Let's take a bird's eye view on that over on the triceps press down machine. As you can see, I'm not only wide, but I also have a cambered grip that I'm using. And at the bottom of the rep, I'm opening my fingers to emphasize the extension of the elbow and help to reduce the shoulder and the pectoral involvement in the exercise. By keeping the elbows wide with the hands and tensing the elbows back into the body, I'm recruiting more of that long head of the triceps while sparing my shoulder, because as you can see with the press down or push down exercise, the upper arm bone is rather close to the side of the body and not above the head. So plug this modified version of the tricep press down exercise, push down exercise into your shoulder training program. Combine it with other exercises for the triceps, such as tricep dips, regular dips, exercises where the elbows are lower and not as elevated, and typically what you'll notice, there'll be a lot less aggravation to your shoulder tendinitis, rotator cuff problems, impingement syndromes, AC joint problems, arthritis, and even labral problems, because you won't be stressing the shoulder joint as much. You can still get a great triceps isolation workout in. If you're going to aggravate your shoulder with compound exercises, there are other techniques to help you. Check out our channel, subscribe to it. We've got a lot of great videos out there for shoulder training, knee training, spinal injuries, all to help you get into shape without aggravating your pain. Specifically for the shoulder, if you want to learn more about analysis of your shoulder, how to figure out what exercises are good for you, which ones to avoid, check out our shoulder healing exercise program available at painfreeandfit.com. It'll help walk you through not only stretches, but stabilization exercises and exercise choices to avoid shoulder injuries. As always, questions or comments, write in. I'll do my best to answer, and I hope this video on a modified version of tricep press downs for the long head of the triceps helps you with your shoulder injury and arm training.